Hello, my name is Gabriella Mae-Mitchell and I'm here today with Nerve TV to talk to the current SUBU president.
Hi.
So hello, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself and your role as president?
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much. My name is Omuwa. I'm the SU president, like she said that a million times. So my first name is actually Omuwa. So my role involved acting on research gathered by SUBU on current student needs and effectively represent it, as well as making sure that the union pursues its charitable objectives.
What would you say to a student who's running for the position this year?
I would say definitely run. One, it's your chance to be able to get an amazing experience for your career path ahead of you through the board, and also one, trying to understand how to develop your skills. I would say transferable skills are very, very key as a student because they would actually help to develop you for the real world. Two, with representation, it's your opportunity to be able to represent a diverse group of people, not just I guess your own race. Three, I would say your voice. Your voice is also very important because as an individual, one thing that I myself had to understand how to develop was how to be or how to speak in meetings, you know, with very, very important personalities, and also how to develop yourself, because at the end of the day, if you don't develop your public speaking skills, you just will fall off at the end of the crack. So yeah, I would say that to a student that will be running this year.
What would you say your proudest moments are as president?
Wow, okay, so I have two things. One, I was able to create the first part-time job fair in person. I say the first one after COVID because the university did not have a physical jobs careers fair going on pre-COVID. After COVID, it was literally my mission to make it happen. Started that, and I think that was a pioneering event for them. They saw the vision. The next year, which was in 2022, they were able to at least do a 3-layer careers fair that included the part-time job fair, the annual careers fair for placement and graduate opportunities, and the HSS fair. So one of the proudest ones for me. And two, I would say another one would be being able to lead my own team. That was an amazing opportunity for me. You know, I would say my team is like my little family here. With them, through their support, I was able to at least develop the international body scheme. That was also an amazing opportunity for me. International body scheme for me is kind of like my baby because I believe that as an international student myself, it's just a very gruesome process, you know, moving from your home country and coming to a new country. Just trying to understand how to integrate that process, mitigate the process, and make it seamless for every international student. I would say another one that I actually just remembered was is trying to understand how to mitigate the late arrivals process for international students as well. That's something that I know that international students are actively going through, and just working with the university on an ongoing issue as that, and trying to understand how to provide support for that, for me was one of my proudest moments.
Yeah. What inspired you to apply for the role of president?
I would say one, I thought about it, and okay, so I was vice president student opportunities in 2021, and in my mind I was just thinking to myself when I was vice president, like I did it, the first 6 months of the role I did it as a placement, and I just thought to myself, do I want to rerun again and be in the same role? I remember coming into the role as vice president, I was telling myself, you know, most vice presidents student opportunities, when I went for conference, I usually typically into sports and whatnot. I mean, I'm into sports, but I don't play often anymore. I mean, come on, it's not high school anymore. I feel like I have just kind of not played in a while, but I was just thinking about how I could also bring, I mean, I am sporty, but how can I also bring other expertise to the role? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh yeah, careers and employability, right? And for me, I had pioneered that as vice president student opportunities. I was thinking, do I want to continue doing the same thing, or do I want to expand and actually get an in-depth knowledge about literally just everything the union is about and everything the university is about? Because at the end of the day, as vice president, I mean, I am still in important meetings, but I mean, at that time, I wasn't in board meetings with the university, so I was just thinking, how can I actually just get in contact with the university's executive team and the university leadership team. One, I had asked my CEO if there had been, SABs changing roles instead of literally just running for the same role. And they were like, oh no, never happened. So in my mind I was like, kind of like a bit weird. Should I still go for the same position or go for president?
Push yourself further.
Yeah, push myself further, that type of thing. And I'm a twin, so I spoke to my twin sister about it, literally after speaking to everyone that mattered in it, and I was like, okay. So my twin had advised me to actually just go for it, and I was like, okay. I mean, no one has ever done it, so to me, I was trying to be a pioneer, just switch from VP to president, and I wanted to do more. I felt like I would have been able to help a wider group of demographic, if I'm president, because I'm not only like focused on my remit, but I'm embedded in every single aspect that, either the university or the union wants to take part in, whether it's a project or a campaign. I'm able to literally just throw myself into the deep end and see how I could help. That for me was very, very important, because I believe that it's one thing to be in a very important space or, also like attain a very important role, but it's literally how you interpret that role and how you're able to, understand the operations of the role, try to understand how you could either better yourself through the role or better other people. I came into the role as an authentic leader. I used to say in literally all the seminars I go to, as vice president, that I am authentic. I actually do identify as an authentic leader. And when I wanted to run for president, the only thing I said to myself is, okay, still be authentic, stick by your authenticity. But if you're going to lead a team, how do you want to do it? And I decided to still be authentic in it. And I feel like authenticity is, being yourself. You don't necessarily have to be anyone else as a leader. You just have to literally be yourself. And one important factor about being authentic is you are able to uplift others. It's not necessarily about just yourself. It's literally about how you empower others. And for me, that was literally why I wanted to run for the role. So yeah.
So since vice president to becoming president, have you kind of grown as a person a little bit? Have you seen changes in yourself?
Oh my God, definitely. Like I feel like the changes that I had seen, or when I assumed the role as vice president was different. But like coming into the role as president is a different ballgame for me, because it's more challenging. There isn't any time for errors. There's only room for improvement. Literally, it's a little bit more tasking. I think for me, I've literally just grown as a person. I used to say that I was very big on public speaking, and I was like a master at it. Prior to me being president, right? But being president is different, because one, I'm not just on the chair of. I'm not just on two boards, right? I am on the board for the university and also on the board for the Students' Union. Now, that's a different ballgame, because now with the Students' Union, when I get to chair it, right? And I've never chaired the board before. As president, I literally chair most of the meetings. I chair the exec and I chair the board meeting. And prior to that, I had never chaired any meeting. So for me, it's it has really developed my organization skills and also my communication skills, because when I'm able to say things that I don't really want to say, to be honest. Sometimes I just really want to be on my ones and not necessarily communicate with my colleagues, as to my whereabouts or what I'm doing. But the truth is, in the world of sabbatical officers, if you don't communicate, no one really knows what you're doing. So it's more or less like you're literally at a high end, but you're still floating. Nobody really knows what you're about. Nobody knows what you're working on, your campaigns or your projects. So I feel for me, it's really been challenging, because not challenging in a bad way, but challenging in a good way, because I have been able to develop not just my personal skills, but also my skills as a career woman. And I feel like it's a very, very innovative experience for anyone that gets involved with it. And yeah, that's just it for me.